night school where shadows creep. Grab your popcorn, don't fall asleep. The doors are open, let the nightmares play. You won't make it out today. Welcome to night school. The doors have reopened.
All right, everyone, take your seats. Take your seats. I know I'm a little late. Just sit down. I could tell you all about it, but it's a long story, and I would rather you just take your seats. We'll figure this out. Oh my gosh!
No. Tell us what happened.
You guys wouldn't believe my trip. Holy crap! I mean, at first I couldn't even get on my plane this morning. Got kicked off the plane, so I just decided I would take a cab. And we wound up getting stuck behind this big-ass log truck.
Ooh.
And we had to go outside of the traffic circle. I wound up having to hop to another cab. And then we got stuck in this huge amount of traffic by the new theme park that just opened downtown. And you could see the roller coaster from the highway. It was pretty cool, but I mean, we're stuck behind a bunch of people just gawking at this roller coaster. And whatever. So we finally make it through the traffic. I get caught up by the racetrack. More traffic. Everyone's just bumper to bumper staring at this racetrack, and you can't even see it from the highway. You could just hear the cars, which was cool, I guess. But what's the point?
All you had to have missing was just like a building collapsing, and then you would have been made it a full trifecta.
Yeah, if you had a skyscraper,
Honestly,
it would have been easier.
We straight up just finally got to the bridge over the overpass, and just more traffic. I swear to God, it's like. Just get rid of it all, man. But I finally made it here. I finally made it. It was a trek and a half. But I made it in one piece. I am alive.
That's
I'm
true.
going to applaud you. That was actually very clever. Very clever.
That was very clever.
Clever.
You technically made it to your final destination.
I did. I made it to my final destination.
Yeah, you did.
Even though death comes for us all. And if you guys haven't figured it out already, we're talking about Final Destination.
Well, yeah.
Yay!
Death.
Death, arguably the most persistent character I've ever seen in any franchise ever.
Yeah.
And petty.
Very
So
petty.
Deliciously petty.
Very petty. Piece of shit.
But first and foremost, have you guys seen all of the Final Destination movies?
Yes.
Yes.
And we're just talking 1 through 5, right?
Yes.
Bloodlines just came out a bit ago, and I'm
Yes.
excited to talk about Bloodlines.
Yeah.
We're gonna give it what it needs, which is a whole other episode. All of our listeners can stay
That's
tuned
fair.
for that. But
It deserves
right now,
it.
It does. It deserves its own bit just because of everything that we have to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like we could just gloss over anything there. But the franchise is a little different.
Yep.
I think you guys can agree with me on
Mm-hmm.
that. Where it has its real high points and its really fucking low points.
Oh, indeed, it has low points.
And we're going to talk about all the high and low points today, as much as we can, as much as we're allotted in class. But I'm excited to talk about this with you guys. I just kind of want to get it out of the way of which one is your guys' favorite. Out of all of them, do you have a favorite?
I'll start off. Hello, everybody. Big Money Eddie, the cigarette-smoking man, the Grand Wizard of Horror himself. So to me, it's difficult because you're always stuck. I believe everybody is stuck with two that they want to pick for their favorite. It's either 1 or 2. And even as close as they are, I just gotta give it to the first one by only half a point. If you ask me tomorrow, I probably would pick 2. So I'm just gonna say the first Final Destination. That's my favorite.
Solid.
That is solid.
Solid.
That is pretty solid. I'll go next. Hello, everybody. It's me, Tommy James, a.k.a. Mr. Oh So Smooth Effect himself, the movie guy, baby. So when we talk about movies, I knows which one I'm going to have to pick. because I would pick Final Destination 2. And the reason that I'm picking Final Destination 2 is because I'm trying to figure out which one scarred me the most. And man, when I see a log truck when I'm driving, and I've seen plenty while driving, it's an immediate nope. I look at it, I go, nope. And I just immediately go to the next lane and I speed up as fast as I can because everybody else is doing it too. Because we're all thinking the same thing. I would love to know how much that man gets paid driving it, because he's driving it being like, they're all scared of me. They're all scared of me. But I also I really enjoyed number 2. I think it's just a fun fucking movie. I enjoy the first one. But that follow-up is just, it hits, it fucking hits. And I'd say it is the best premonition that we can get. So I'm Final Destination 2.
That's interesting. Well, I am Florida's favorite creep here at Night School Horror. I am also your professor today. And, I agree with both of you. The first and the second seem to be the top tier. It seems to be what everyone goes to the most. And I would have to say, not just from the mental scarring, but the impact it had on a whole ass generation, would have to be Final Destination 2, which makes it my absolute favorite. Because it's just as you said, Tommy. No matter who you ask when we're driving behind a log truck, even if they haven't seen that whole movie, they know that clip. And they're avoiding the fuck out of it. So I would have to say number 2. It's great. The premonition's great. The deaths in the premonition are great. And it really, really ties home. And we're going to get into that. We're gonna deep dive into that.
Only you can make something so horrifying, so wholesome. You
Yeah.
you made Final Destination 2 sound like, grandma's chocolate chip cookies.
It is. It unites a generation to where we can all have trauma together. And, collective trauma is what binds us all. We're all scared of the same thing. We can all help each other avoid it.
You can't
avoid death.
You can't avoid death.
You can't avoid death.
We can avoid the ways that most of them died.
Oh, 100%. Most of them aren't there's a reason they're freak accidents. These movies are all about freak accidents.
Yes.
You're not going to walk outside and get hit by a lawnmower that's flying through the air. But, it could wind up in Final Destination 7 and come that ever happens.
Oh, it's very possible.
It is very possible.
There's so many ways to kill a person.
And so many dumb ways to die.
I'm sure they've learned from that show.
Oh, yeah.
They were like, ooh, number 733. I like that. Let's make it gorier.
I want to be in the writing room when they do that, just to be like, hey, where are you getting these ideas from? Maybe they're taking it from actual freak accidents that happen around the world, but they also have to look at some dumb ways to die. What were some of the dumbest ways?
That would be hilarious. You go into the studio. Well, who's there? Was it Warner Brothers? It has to be Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers.
You walk into the Warner Brothers studio. You walk into the fucking producer's office, and you hear the dumb ways to die, and you're like, "This is what you guys are doing."
It's called research, man.
I'd be like, "Oh, I feel you, brother. That's perfect." Now I understand a lot of shit. So wait, this has actually happened before? Oh yeah, sure. Oh, fuck that.
What they probably say is, how can we mix Jackass with 1,000 Ways to Die and just make it work? And they do.
They do.
And it's funny because you do sense that tone shift too, where it's it started out as something serious into some jackassery.
Yes.
Full-fledged.
Yeah, big time. They get to some. It's like when you watch the first one, it's a horror movie.
Yeah.
And then you watch the second one and it's still kind of a horror movie. And then it's just we're just here to have a good time. It's not, I don't consider it horror. It doesn't fall in
goofy.
that category. It's goofy, campy, fucking just
I call it goofy gore.
Goofy gore. I like that word. I'm a goofy
it's silly,
gore.
but it's like slapstick gore.
Goofy goober rock. Yeah, I can see that. That's a good way to put it. Goofy gore.
Yeah.
Gore.
I imagine
and I
the
will survive.
laugh. That is perfect. New theme song incoming.
Yes, wherever Mr. Malave is, which he's not here, by the way. Fucking guy can't make it to a fucking movie movies that are literally about fucking his segment.
Literally tailored.
God damn it, Matt.
I am marking him absent. Like a
I'm
big
marking with a
fat,
fucking 0.
big fat goose egg on this.
That's a
attendance
fucking
sheet,
0
okay?
right there. He should fail the class. This is, by the way, this is our last in class because we're going to summer camp after this. Back to summer camp.
That is true.
So this
That
is our
true.
final, and this
Students can
motherfucker's
become
on here.
campers.
We're gonna become fucking counselors. We got jobs, bitches.
Students can become counselors. Students can become campers, and we all just have a bunch of fun with our camp shirts and our camp songs and our camp movies.
No, we don't talk about the camp songs. We don't talk about the camp songs because then that was that other camp that was there, and I wasn't a big fan of it. And I'm just saying, I checked. We're going to a different campsite this year, and they ain't there, so we're good.
I forgot you were traumatized from your camp.
Some
We
Scientology
had some
shit.
kick-ass camp songs. Okay, you missed those.
Yeah, well,
I
I
feel
was too
bad for you, I'm
busy.
sorry.
I was too busy
okay,
praising
I'll
the
teach you.
Lord, praising the Lord. But
After school, somebody got to give me an update on these songs because that's kind of creepy.
we gotta work.
Yeah, you're welcome. That's my specialty.
Yeah, that was a good time. Camp. That was the first time we ever went to camp. This is gonna be our second time going to camp, so it's very exciting.
Yeah. Camp school horror, night camp horror, whatever the fuck we wanted to call it.
I think we
Back
just
and
called it
forth
summer camp.
I don't know. I was referring it to night camp horror.
Oh,
for a
maybe
while.
you're right. Maybe we did call it night camp horror.
Night camp
Yeah.
horror.
I think that's what we called it.
Yeah, welcome to night camp.
NCH.
Oh,
Either way,
interesting.
it's going to be a lot of fun. We
Yeah,
should,
it's gonna
we
be
should
fun.
join on
It's
that,
gonna be
but
fun.
Other than that, I'm pretty sure a lot of people have died at camp too. A lot of freak accidents happen at
A-
camp.
ask Jason.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely
Angela.
ask Jason, but Jason doesn't seem like it was a freak accident.
You can ask
That seems like an
Jason.
irresponsible accident.
Angela.
Yeah, Angela. Yeah.
Angela for sure.
You definitely ask
That-
Angela.
yeah.
She
We're not
has a
gonna ask
nice.
either
She
of
has a
them.
nice smile about it, though. Whatever you ask her about it, it's great.
She's got more than a smile.
She's got that like raptor face. Either way,
Yeah.
neither
She's
of
got
them
more
are
than a
in this
raptor
first
face, but
movie.
it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. Keep going.
Neither of them are in this first movie. We're going to talk Final Destination 1 for a
Okay.
bit. We're going to go all the way back to 2000, peak 2000, millennia. Backstreet Boys know all about it.
Right
So
after
do we.
Y2K.
Nice
Yeah.
name drop.
So since Y2K didn't happen and we are all still alive,
Mhm.
Final Destination came out.
Yeah.
Final Destination 1 specifically, where everyone knows in the Final Destination franchise, every movie has its own big tragedy that kicks off the rest of the movie. That kicks off the order in which people die. That kicks off not only the order in which people die, but sometimes the premonition shows how they will die. It just doesn't happen from the tragedy show. It happens later. Because as we know, death is a petty bitch. And death will come after you in the ways that you don't think he would, because one freak accident didn't happen, so he will create another. Don't
Fuck
you
dr-
worry.
Fuck dripping water, by the way. Continue. Sorry.
Yes. We'll get into that. Don't you worry.
It's a good point.
So, in Final Destination 1, can anybody just raise your hand? Let me know. What was the tragedy? Mr. Movie Guy, baby.
It was hold on. So they wanted to go on vacation and they were
I think it
gonna
was a school trip, wasn't it?
it was
Yes,
it
it
was
was a school.
it was a school trip. A French class school trip
Yeah.
because they were going to Paris.
Oui.
They were going to Paris. So it was an airplane.
Yes. It was an airplane. So they're going on a school field trip to Paris for their French class. So we have a group of students and their teacher, French teacher. And was there another teacher there as a
Yes.
Two
chaperone?
teachers,
Two
actually.
teachers.
Yes.
Two teachers because one of them
Teacher there
got
as a
off the
chaperone.
plane.
Yes. So they all gather up on this plane, and we have our fun little cast of characters being introduced in the title sequence. And it looks like just a normal ass movie. They're sitting down, they're doing their thing on the plane, no problem, you know. They're just kind of settling in, doing what they need to do, get cozy for this very long flight. And the premonition happens where the plane explodes. starting with one character to another, and you could see exactly how they die from that tragedy. Out of that, we see, oh my god, I'm forgetting his fucking name. Main character, dude.
Devin Sawa. It's Casper.
Yes. But in the movie, what was his name?
Alex.
Kevin Sawa.
Alex.
That's
there it
Alex.
is.
Alex
Alex.
Brenneman or
I was like, I
something.
know the actor's
It was
name, but no.
Casper. It was Casper in his
So-
human form.
Alex. Yes.
Casper in
Oh,
human
he was
form.
about to be ghost form real quick.
He was.
He's going ghost, Danny Phantom style. So we see Alex wake up from this premonition and like freaks the fuck out, says, the plane's going to explode, gets off the plane, and whoever decides to follow him, for whatever personal reason, they decide to get off the plane.
Well, there was this. I forget his name.
They have reasons, except Sean
Yeah,
William
there's
Scott.
a
They
fight.
do.
Yeah, there's the guy who fights him. Who, by the way,
Carter.
just like Carter, fucking Carter. Carter, I will never understand why he was so upset with Alex. Like,
I don't
why are you fucking so upset with him in every single moment of this fucking film? Why? You're a fucking asshole.
So technically, he's upset with him for the plane because it freaks out Terry, which is his girl. So he's technically like, weirdly enough to. I mean, I get it too, because I'd be like, "Yo, dude, sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up."
Yeah.
Like you're
Yeah, but even
causing
so.
a huge stir right now. Then he chose to fight him. Obviously, he bullied him in school. And then you see obviously after Terry dies, they're also freaked out that
Yeah,
he fucking got it right.
I mean,
But
he's
so-
at that point where it's like, yeah, I agree with Eddie here, where it's like, yeah, he's mad at him, but for fucking what? Like, you could have gotten back on the plane. You didn't have to leave. You didn't have to fight him.
He
You
got
could
thrown
watch
off
him
the
freak
plane.
out and stay.
He got thrown
Right,
off
because
the
he
plane
fought him.
because he fought
But-
him.
You
Yes,
didn't have to
but,
fight him.
But I look, the first time he gets upset with him, I do get it. I do get the first time. But the second time when the plane explodes, he goes like, "You motherfucker!" And I go like, "Why?
Yeah,
Why
like,
are
he
you
bombed the
upset that
plane.
It's like, oh my god, you had a prophetic vision, you motherfucker! I hate oracles from the future."
Well,
Like,
isn't it after they're fighting? Like, so I know when they get off the plane, they're still fighting. Like they
Yes.
let them go, then they start fighting again, and then the plane explodes. And they're not fighting after the plane explodes because they're literally staring at him like, what?
How did you
no,
know?
yes,
Like, how
no,
did you
yeah.
know that?
But after that, when they're just sitting there, he just starts yapping at him aggressively, like
Yeah.
and you go like, "Dude, just stop! Like, stop!"
Well,
It's-
I also know, like, if you remember in the funeral scene, well, not the
Yeah.
funeral scene, but when they're like with the names and stuff,
The memorial, yeah.
the memorial
Yeah.
scene, like he's crying.
Yes.
She's not. He's crying. So it's possible that he could have had like friends. I'm assuming he had friends there. Maybe a brother or a sister was also on the plane. So maybe he was just angry. I mean, it's a pretty freaky situation to be in where it's just somebody just called the plane was going to explode, and then the plane explode, and you're like,
Yeah.
whoa. But that's my favorite part is how everyone stares at him, and they're completely freaked out. Like, I mean, I blame him. I'd be freaked out too. I'd be thanking him, but I would also
Yeah.
be freaked out. I think I'd also be kind of like the Sean William Scott character being like, dude, so what are the like lottery numbers coming out? Like,
Yeah,
you
for
know,
real.
but I'd also be fucking freaked out.
It's definitely, it shows, who all kind of just understands that if something bad is going to happen and somebody claims to see it, maybe trust it. But also, if this happened in a real life situation, it would be handled so differently. You might get one person or two people that get off the plane, but the rest of the plane's just going to be staring at this person like, that's a fucking crazy person, and I don't like that. But anyway, here we are. I paid for my ticket. Would you guys get off the plane?
That's a good question. Okay,
Realistically.
Good question.
so he says that the plane is going to. He says the plane's going to explode.
To set the context, you don't know this person.
No, I
You
don't.
don't know the class. You don't know anything other than this guy stands up while you're on the plane and says, the plane's going to explode.
I
We
would
have
leave.
to get off.
I would leave, but it's not because I believe him. I
Yeah,
would leave because
I
I
would
think I would leave because I'm thinking it's a terrorist attack or something.
Yeah, he knows something.
Like before you even take off.
He knows
Yeah.
something.
I will like no. So, something's off. I don't want to risk it.
I have to agree with Big Money. I'd be the same way. I gotta be honest with you. I think if that happened nowadays, that plane will never take off.
Yeah.
They would put them on because nobody's fucking, everyone's getting off. Like if someone's like, the plane is going to explode, people are literally going to be like, okay, so not only do I know about the, attacks of September 11th and all that shit, I've seen Final Destination.
Back to back, actually.
Yes, the year later, it fucking
I was
it
going to
happened.
say, which is crazy because that hadn't happened
That's right.
before this movie.
That's very true. But I do believe if somebody, it's like calling bomb on an airplane. Like that plane's not taking off because now the cops have to come in. They have to check the plane. They're going to have no choice but to check that plane. So everyone's going to have to get off and they're going to have to be moved to a different plane. Because I would be scared shit. I'd be like, there's no fucking way I'm getting on that plane. You have to put me on a different plane. Not with that psycho. Which he would be arrested anyway. So he'd be getting fucking taken away. But I believe if
Just in the
that
movie,
ever
he was
happened,
detained because they're like,
He was
how the fuck
detained.
would you know that happened? And it's
That
like,
makes
after
sense.
they cleared him, he was allowed to leave.
that makes perfect sense.
Makes sense.
I'm
Yes.
surprised he was even allowed to leave. Like even his, but again, it's a movie and a movie's kind of movie. But I believe that if that occurred today, that plane will never take off.
Yep.
For like
agree with
a
that.
full fucking 24 hours. They are going to monitor that plane because he knows something. Even if he's Crazy Bill must know something. And
They'd probably
yeah,
take it all apart and inspect every single piece of it.
I think
yeah.
so.
Honest to God.
I think so.
That-
Clear
but-
it inside and out.
But that's why I would leave. I wouldn't leave because I go like, oh, I believe this kid. This kid looks like he's sound of mind, and he is in tune with his spirits or chakras or whatever. I'm gonna listen to his little oracle here. No, it's just like, just intuitively, I go like, nope. I know the world's messed up.
Not
I
fucking
don't.
around.
Nope.
That's fair.
That makes sense.
I've seen Final Destination. I've seen 9/11. No need anymore.
Not fucking around.
Yeah. It probably definitely changes the tune post 9/11 with that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Early post.
Yeah.
Anyways, I want to get into some of the deaths before we wrap up for Final Destination 1. Do you guys have a death that stood out to you that you definitely want to talk about?
I like Sean William Scott's death.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Let's
it's
dive into
because
that.
it's Stifler.
Yes.
And
Stifler dies.
and just the way
Spoilers if you haven't seen it, but you probably
if you haven't seen it, then don't listen to this episode. Go and watch the movies. Don't fucking listen to this episode and fucking ruin everything for you. And again, it doesn't hit more, and you have to see it, and you have to watch the death happen. This is the point you got to keep in mind. Sean William Scott at this point is Stifler.
Yes.
He is Stifler at this
American
point.
Pie Stifler.
American Pie. So we know him as Stifler. And the way he is, like his death was like perfect. It's quick. It's just like the whole concept of how it's that moment where he believes. That's the other thing that's crazy because the whole time he's talking with Alex, and Carter and whatnot. Carter's such a dick. But with Alex, he's constantly telling him, like, it's like a joke. Like, bro, like, can you tell me how this happened? Or tell me the lottery numbers? Or when am I going to die? Like, all this shit. But it's not until that they're telling him that Carter's next, and they fucking see the train coming, and they realize, and that's when he says it. He goes, "You're next." You're like, he's finally accepts it that Carter is next, but it skipped him, which Alex then responds. He goes, "It skipped you." And then that fucking
It was your
boom,
seat.
and just cuts his fucking head off, which is great because Sean William Scott's character never got on the plane. He was in the bathroom. When he got on the plane, he was pushed back out because they were fucking fighting, and they pushed, everybody was getting, at that point, nobody was getting on the plane. Except the two teachers. One of the teachers had to get back on because they were students. But otherwise, they already made, because even Sean William Scott's character is saying, like, I wasn't on the plane. I didn't do anything. And they're like, yeah, no one's getting on the plane. Like, you have to wait for the next plane. So his death, to me, was just perfect timing of the moment where he finally realizes that, holy shit, this is actually real. This is actually happening, even though he's seen all this shit happen. To him, they're just freak accidents, and now he finally accepts, like, you're next, until the fucking shard fucking from the car just chops his fucking head off. And you were like, and it's like, again, it's instant bang.
So
And
quick.
like, and it's just damn. And the way when it happens, they don't like this is what I loved. When it happens, Carter's just shocked, just huh? And Alex is like, see, I knew it. It was supposed to be you, but then when I pulled you out, it skipped you and it went over to the next one, which was, and it just goes, Billy. And instead of just being like, oh my God, like, dude, our friend's head just got chopped off, he's just like, yeah, no, he was
like having
Because he figured it out.
Yes,
He was like, I
because
figured it out.
He
This means
figured
we
it
can
out.
fix it. I figured it out.
But
like,
it didn't
you know when you
matter.
solve a puzzle and you're like, oh my God, this is exciting? He's experiencing that while the rest of the
While
characters-
people are freaked the fuck out that this
So I'm
kid
next.
just got his fucking head chopped off.
That means I'm going to die next.
And Carter pisses his pants, which I don't know if you guys
Yeah.
seen it. When he stood up, he
Yeah,
pissed
he
his
does
pants.
piss his
Yeah.
pants.
He pissed his pants. So it's, I mean, I don't blame him because Jesus.
Oh.
But that's my favorite death in number one.
So for me, it's Todd's death, and so Todd's death works for me in different levels. Yeah, it's the first one, but that happens. Here's a couple of things I love about that. First of all, something that's left in the other movies is that little shadow or that
Yes.
little wind and everything, and I actually enjoy that. I actually enjoy that. You see that presence there. It becomes more personal, if you will. Everything that's happening. Another thing that I enjoy is that the water that's dripping moves to get him. It's moving.
Yes.
It's purposefully moving.
I hate that.
Very
So-
snake-like.
so I like that. I like the reason I like that is because in the other ones, water, and we'll talk about the other ones. There's always a scene where water is conveniently dripping somewhere, and I hate it because it's just so convenient. Whereas you see in this one, you see that it's provoked, if you will. It's not simply which I like, because you go like, oh my God, death is out to get you. Like it's not just happy accidents that you and then you assume it's death. No, death is actually going to get you, and it is actually around looking for you. That's why I like it, because after that it introduces a recurring element in the entire franchise: fucking dripping water. The scariest thing you never thought it was so scary.
Mhm.
Dripping water. Now every time I see dripping water, I always look what's around, just in case.
Because the water
You know,
could
that's
be
fair.
coming to get you. And
'Cause
then
water
after it gets you, it goes back. I fucking hate that
Just
part.
recedes back. To
I'm
its
watching
host.
it like, you fuck you. Like,
Yeah.
fuck you. Like, no. I mean, yes, but like, no at the same time, because I say it all the time, especially in Final Destination movies, realism plays a factor.
Yeah.
And the fact that the water has to get to him, I mean, it happens again. Like like you mentioned, Big Money, it happens in multiple of these movies where water plays a huge factor. We'll get to number 5 where that it happens again. But the fact that it has to recede, you know, it sound like Morgan Freeman in Deep Impact sitting there being like, the water has receded. That was a really bad Morgan Freeman impression. But
The water
again,
has receded.
the water has receded. And it just goes back and just goes back into the toilet, and you're just like, oh, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. But the reason I enjoyed it was because before that, they had shown the shadow of death showing up through wind and everything like that. So it's believable that it is a supernatural thing getting to them. So that's why I enjoyed it, only because that element is lost, and then it just becomes one big jigsaw puzzle mixed with Jackass, which is fun sometimes. But that supernatural element is somewhat lost for the, let's see what happens. So I just like Todd's death because of that.
You know, I agree with Big Money 100%. Todd's death had an impact on me because it's something so visceral about, like, this could happen. It's unlikely that it would because it's a freak accident, but it could happen. to where, it made me a little more cautious of the shower. I know that movie Psycho played a big part on an older generation of be cautious in the shower. My mom has traumatic memories of watching that movie, and now she's afraid of the shower. This death specifically made me a little cautious, where I was like, "Is there anything that could hurt me? No? All right, now I'm gonna get in the shower." It's just that split second thought of you kind of glance, you look around for a minute, and then you proceed to do whatever you're doing. It's not actually real. It's not going to hurt you, but it has a lasting effect. And before the second movie came out, which we're about to get into, traumatized me for life for driving, that was the thing that stuck with me. For Final Destination 1, it was just the shower strangulation scene where I'm like, that looks fucked up, and I don't want any part of that. I'm afraid of that happening to me. I'm just going to take an extra second for myself. So
I also believe too that again in that movie and Final Destination 1, they are quick deaths.
yes.
That's a slow one, and the
Yes.
slow deaths are always the rough ones,
They're painful.
And
as we see
literally,
later on.
the image I have of like the blood just coming up from his neck and
It's to the eyes.
eyeballs into
Eyes.
the whites of his
Yeah,
eyes.
that shit's rough.
This is
It happens quick too.
horrifying.
Like,
yeah,
that shit
you
happens
just see
quick.
like split second.
Like
Oh,
very
yeah.
fast. And then the soap where the shampoo and his fucking
Yeah.
feet are going, you're just like, dude, you ain't going nowhere. And then of course, and then the water receded, and you're like, fuck you.
If some of that water cleared away the shampoo, he wouldn't have died.
That's
Wouldn't have been so slick.
That's true. That's very true. The water went away, so it's a suicide.
But anyways, we can have it come back. Water
Death
may
didn't want to
come
leave
back.
any evidence.
Yeah,
He didn't.
that's literally
Death
what it was.
cleans up his tracks.
Death cleaned
cleans up
up.
his tracks.
Death's like, my bad. I just gotta put the water back.
It's like, oh, dab it up.
They'll
Make
never
sure we're
know
good.
it was me.
We're good here, right? Yep. All right, cool. I'm gonna go be a shadow somewhere else.
Can you imagine the police saying, like, who got him? Death. Oh, yeah. Tell me something else that's new.
That makes sense. Yeah.
They're just like, absolutely. And they're just like, no, death literally came for him. And it's like,
Yes.
yes.
Yes. No. Yeah.
The detective's holding the notepad, just like, yes. What else can you tell me?
I understand, sir, because you explained to me what had happened here. So death came for him. The water
Death-
came out of the toilet. Okay. And then it receded. Lock this guy
I
up,
didn't
please.
see it, but I know the water moved.
I seen the water. The water moved. I don't know if you noticed, but it was very clear. Like the water was a beautiful light blue, came back, and now the toilet's perfectly fucking dry. By the way, how is it fucking perfectly dry? It's still water.
Death
You should
cleaned
have
up.
kept,
He's
like-
not a messy bitch. He's a petty bitch.
You should have said, like, the water's clear, and then the police officer would have been like, Death came for him.
So death came for it's very officer. It's very easy to understand. Death, right? Grim Reaper and whatnot. Yeah.
The officer's eyes are just like starting to gloss over, like, what's happening?
Sitting there writing this shit down, like, I can't believe I became a cop. I could have been a baker. That just is where I'm at. I was going to be a pilot. Then that's how it gets him.
Well, from that first movie where we have all these memorable scenes, it sets up, Eddie was right, where it does set up a lot of the tropes for the rest of the franchise. We get into the second movie, Final Destination 2, everyone, where the big tragedy is the fateful log truck. Everyone's favorite, the log truck. Specifically, I know we have the scene, my favorite scene, the cop that's going through the state trooper,
Oh,
and the log comes through his
gets it.
windshield
He
and just
gets it.
decapitates him.
Fucking awesome kill.
I straight up feel that in my core every time I see that log truck, and I avoid it at all costs.
Awesome.
That is
You
the
know-
scene that sticks with me. So
One of the scenes that absolutely makes no sense for me, and you go like, oh, such a 2000s movie, is when the biker chick shows up and just flashes her tits for
of
no
course.
reason except we needed an R rating for this movie.
That's right.
And we need, and those were perky cantaloupes.
Never
Defying
been flashed
gravity.
on the highway.
defying gravity.
Yeah.
Because wind is hitting, those tits are not moving anywhere. Her
They're
hair
not.
is like flowing.
They're
Those
not.
tits are placed perfectly, and no reason for her to be. And you always ask why.
There's no reason.
Why? Because she was
It's
flaunting.
for us, the fans.
We enjoyed them.
Thank
You know she's the same one from Freddy versus Jason, right?
Yeah.
From the beginning.
Really?
The one, yeah,
Yeah.
she's the same one.
I literally looked this up because somebody mentioned it to me like
I didn't know
years
that.
ago, and I was like, "What? What
Yeah.
do you mean?"
Probably the single most famous pair of tits in the 2000s.
Oh.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
2000 titties. They live in my head rent free.
2000 titties.
Those are stuffed turkeys. I'm telling you. I'm sorry. I continue.
Listen, plastic when it's shaped nice can be admired.
Yeah.
That is that.
Look, I'm not disagreeing that they look beautiful. It's just that it's so random when she just and then she's just like flashes and then just like keeps moving away.
You know, when you got a pair of tits like hers, you want to share them with the world.
That is fair. You know what? I hadn't thought about that.
Sure.
Yeah.
I understand.
Like, it might seem random to us, but for her, she's like, "Nah, I do this every day." Some lucky gents on the road every day. That's the reason she got the motorcycle, so she could always get away. She never has to stop and talk about it.
Oh,
Anyway,
that's so hilarious.
besides the best hits of the 2000s, let's talk about death.
Yeah.
Let's talk about how death comes for those titties.
Oh, I forget how she dies. Her and her boy. I don't know how they die, but I know how the other ones die.
Let's see.
I don't think they showed. Did they even show her die?
I think that her and the boyfriend die like burning. I think something like that.
I don't remember her. Trying to remember of what all of them. There's only some of them I can recall their deaths. There's a lot. There's a lot of fucking death on that highway.
Yes.
There
There's a
is.
lot of shit going down. Obviously, the log going right through the state trooper, which is fucking fantastic.
Phenomenal.
Most of it, the bike hitting
The
the
water
guy, the water bottle. That was the mother and son. That was a good one too. But they just pretty much crashed and exploded.
A lot of it was explosion based or
Yeah, a
getting
lot of
hit by
explosion
collateral
based.
log. I think it was one person outside of the car that was thrown lived, but got smacked in between two vehicles. Like, whatever happens in a pileup, just crank that up to 1,000, and that is that scene.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Plus
yeah,
a log.
just the death in that one. That again, that was one of the smartest premonition ideas because you really played a factor with generations of now real. Some people don't want to get a license because of that movie, where they're just like, I don't want to be in that situation. And what they don't realize is that as a driver, like that's not, you never know what can happen, but that's most likely very highly not going to happen. But regardless, when you see the logs, you're like, it's no, like I'm not doing this today. Like it's not
No.
happening
It's
because
an
it is my luck. It will happen.
Yeah.
And then the water will recede, and then death will
The
go.
water on the highway, yes.
The water
Water
will go
in
to
the high-
it probably will. The water will come on the highway.
Water in the highway will recede,
and then
And-
knocks over
and
the
top-
log
and Tommy sees the flame getting him.
as the water recedes. What the fuck? Where's it going?
Doesn't matter where it's going. So, Final Destination 2. How did we feel about the characters?
I like the
'Cause from our
fact
cast
that
of
it
characters
adds
from
up.
the first one, it feels very put together. From the
Yeah.
second one, it's all
Yeah.
different strangers on a highway. So it's not like they're interconnected through any means of travel other than the roadway.
And they're also technically connected. That's when they realize when they're in the van, or the truck or whatever the fuck she was driving, when they realize that they're all not supposed to be there.
Yes.
They're all supposed to be dead. And because of something happening, which then change the course of what their lives are. So I do like that they tied that in where it's just like, oh, this makes sense why death is coming for all of us.
This
point.
is why this is a sequel to Final Destination,
right,
and not just another random movie where
Story,
death
yeah.
is trying to get them.
right. And I like that that they were able to do that because it just makes it feel again connected, but it makes there have stakes where now you realize as an audience member, they're fucked. Because you've seen the first one. So you're like, oh, they're fucked. You know Alex is dead. They've confirmed that he died. Carter gets hit by the fucking falling sign. And what's her face is Claire is the only survivor in it until later on where, she did not survive.
Yeah.
She's
I
not
like.
so much a survivor. She just survived that one instance. Doesn't mean she gets.
Well, in the movie, she does
love
mention. In the movie, she does mention that her and Alex dodged death multiple times before the random brick from high up of heaven just lodges from a building and just like whams him in the head, and that's the end of Alex.
Killed
right
him.
there.
And that's
So she
only
checked
because
herself
Devin
into
Sawa
an
didn't want to
insane
come
asylum.
back. Devin Sawa didn't want to come back, so they had to kill him. They didn't have a choice at that point, which kind of sucks because the whole, when having her in it made you just go, huh?
I need Alex. Yeah, exactly.
You needed him. She was just the girlfriend. But
She
Right.
felt what
For
he was
me-
feeling.
He
That
didn't
was
wanna
it.
do
For me, in that sense, like she was the one thing grounding him to want to survive, other
Mhm.
than just like, well, I guess fucking let it happen. So to have her in the second movie, I really didn't care, but I also really didn't care about her. Much like the rest of the world, I'm just going like, all right, so she survived this long. How does she die now?
Yeah, she was like
It
the
wasn't
Sarah
so
Connor.
much to me of like, yeah,
She was like Sarah
but
Connor. She was just telling
I
about the
actively root for
Terminators.
Sarah Connor. I don't actively root for Clear.
No,
Specifically
I don't
because
root for
who the
Claire.
fuck names their child Clear Rivers?
Claire Rivers.
Yeah, you have the last name Rivers, and you name her Clear. I
Yeah.
hate you. I hate you so much.
Should have just named her Allie Carter.
But specifically, I feel like the only play she has in that second movie is, to tell the next group, hey, this is how you can beat it.
Yes.
Even though she can't beat it and you don't beat it. Nobody in a Final Destination movie ever truly beats death. Nobody cheats death.
Well, in this
That's
movie,
not true.
I mean,
There's technically 2 survivors.
this movie actually
but
proves.
for how long?
Well,
When we see Final Destination 7, we'll find out.
Exactly. It seems like for how long? You can span across multiple movies, but death will always come for you. And
Yeah.
just like her, who says, like, here's how you can beat it, this is how you beat it, I know how to do it, she still dies. Because nobody truly knows how to beat it, because you don't. That's the whole point.
She put her
Yeah.
guard down. That's why. She put her guard
And-
down.
yeah.
She went to go save the guy, the motorcycle dude, and just fucking shit exploded. Like she just put her guard down.
Which, bad call anyway.
by the way, just really quickly, that you know who that motorcycle guy is, right?
No.
It's T.C. Carson. It's Kratos.
The fuck?
That's Kratos.
Is it
from
really?
God of War.
Right.
Yes, it is.
So
It's
death
T.C.
even
Carson.
killed the God of War,
Yeah.
is what you're telling me.
No shit.
Yes. Yeah, T.C. Carson.
T.C. Carson.
Even
Yeah.
death comes for the God
He
of War.
is the God of War. Wow.
Yep.
No shit.
The only reason I immediately know him is because he is the double for Samuel L. Jackson. So in
Mace
every
Windu.
Star Wars, so he does a lot of Mace Windu games. So growing up, I was a big fan. I still am until Disney bought them of Star Wars. So I saw his name constantly, and then when I saw him in God of War, I was like, "What is Mace Windu doing?" And he was Kratos. So,
Fair
just
enough.
Little factoid there.
Well, hell yeah. All right, man. That's a little upsetting now that I know his fate. Fair enough, though. But specifically into for
That made you really
Claire's-
sad. I'm so sorry.
It did. Like I'm a little heartbroken for Claire's role in the second one. I feel like it's so minute. Like they could have just had a little newspaper clipping somewhere of her and Alex's death because that's how much it fucking mean to me.
Bloodworth could have done everything, and of course,
Bloodworth?
That's true.
We haven't even mentioned Bloodworth yet. For the first and second movies, Bloodworth is like the key moment of explaining what is happening to those who don't know. He is essentially
Hello,
the
Alex.
narrator. He's essentially the narrator for death, even if, when people see him, they associate death. I remember a fan theory going around saying, like, oh, no, he is death.
Yes,
He
I remember that.
knows already he is death. And it's like, I like that theory, but I also don't. I like that he's just a dude who knows all of it, and we find out later why.
We do find out why.
Yeah,
But much, much later. So at this
Much
point, I'm like, he is
much later.
Yeah, he's the character that ties everything together, and we understand why he knows everything. But until then, like, Bloodworth is just the guy who knows. He's the mysterious guy who knows, and I love that about him.
I love Tony Todd. Tony Todd, every time he's on screen, the movie becomes legitimate for a moment. Like, for a
Yes.
moment. Like, it goes from being a fun movie, and it starts becoming an actual movie. Like, how he delivers his lines, the gravitas he brings on screen. Like, this is a movie star. This is an actor
Yes.
playing. All of his scenes, if it would have been somebody else, they would have been so campy.
Sure.
They would have been maybe even too silly. I think somebody might have played it too silly, like kind of like a creepy, like kind of like watches porn on the side sort of person, sort of, because you listen to those lines and they are creepy, but if somebody reads those lines wrong, it could come off looking like Clint Howard instead of Tony Todd. Like you know what I mean?
I'd have said Gilbert Godfrey.
Yes, or
I'd
Gilbert
have had
Godfrey.
Gilbert Godfrey doing, or fucking Paul Rubens. Doing
Yeah, exactly. So, and then it would have been too creepy, but but he adds. It becomes serious. It becomes poetic. Some of those lines become very poetic. And it's because of his delivery. So, rest in peace, Tony Todd. Thank you for giving us such a wonderful bunch of characters, not just Bloodworth, but, our Candyman and Dark Side and a bunch of others. So cheers to him.
Cheers to Tony Todd.
Cheers.
Definitely cheers to Tony Todd.
What a great guy, like, just in general, but even for these movies, he plays such a big part. So I'm really glad that they gave him his flowers in the end. But we'll get to that when we talk about it later. Moving away from Final Destination 2, we get into Final Destination 3, where the big tragedy is a roller coaster accident.
Yes.
Which, for someone who loves theme parks, that scared the ever-loving shit out of me. And eventually, I didn't want to ride roller coasters, and I got past it by saying, well, if I'm going to die on a roller coaster, at least I died doing something fun. And you know what? Watching what happens in that movie on the roller coaster, because there is no way you can get out of that situation. Absolutely not. So at that point, it's like, all right, I just accept my fate. Every time I get on a roller coaster from this point on, I am accepting my fate. God forbid something happens. And I still enjoy them. I still enjoy them very much.
Interesting. So, in Puerto Rico, we didn't have, growing up, for the audiences at home, they probably already know that I'm Puerto Rican because I mentioned it a couple of times, but I actually did grow up on the island until I was 24. We didn't have these fancy, like, theme parks and everything like that. We had, like, ratchet fairs. And, like, when I mean ratchet, I'm talking about, like, some of those machinery are dangerous type of ratchet. And when I was watching this movie, I watched it over there because it came out when I was over there. Everybody panicked over it because and now we were seeing, like, all these mini roller coasters that were there that were not safe, that barely had any contraptions. You could hear the as the machine is going, and people were like, fuck it, I'm just gonna have some fun. But those machines are so dangerous if you're not careful. So even if it's dangerous on a theme park, it's even more so in those little fairs. And so I relate to your fear. I just experienced it in a very specific way that I hope some people at home can also appreciate, because those little ratchet fairs with their little ratchet machines, like, they're fun, but they're they're not safe. They're not safe at all.
No.
Listen, when you walk up to them and you find like one of the little lug nuts on the ground, you're just like,
Mhm.
there's a bunch of people on that.
Yep.
And then you also still get on.
I was going to say, that's what you do. You look up, you go, well, there's a bunch of people on that. I'm going to get on it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the worst.
And the
Anytime
machine
the fair
operator-
comes through and you see like, oh, it wasn't there before, and they just put them up overnight and tear them down overnight to move them again. You're like, that can't be safe.
No.
Let me get on.
Oh no! And the best thing is, like, the machine operators who
Mhm.
smell of weed, alcohol, and depression, because you can actually smell the depression on them.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes, it's very palpable. You all of a sudden go like, yeah, I'm just going to write, he's going to be a safe operator. He's not going to put it in the wrong setting and just explode us to death. Totally
He's going to
fine.
make sure to properly check every single seat and strap just to make sure that we're all safe
Absolutely.
there. We got it.
The little quick.
They do the
pull.
little 2-finger like pull on the bar.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
It's
You're like,
glorious.
sir, I don't know. I'm
I was
pretty
like,
sure.
I don't think this bar is down all the way. And he's like, yeah, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, it's been like that for like 10 years, but it's fine. Nobody's died.
Yeah, you're fine.
I'm going to die. I'm the one that's going to die, sir. Get this shit off of me. Let's talk about something real quick when it does come to this movie. Couple things. Number one, this is the only Final Destination movie to have a director that has directed a previous one. This is a
Yes.
James Wong film. He also did it. He did the first one.
The first
So he came back for the third one. This movie has a top-notch actor in it, which is Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Yep.
She was not popular at this point, but she's in fucking
Scott Pilgrim.
Scott Pilgrim.
Scott Pilgrim.
Scott Pilgrim.
She's Harrison Dola in the new Ahsoka show. and
Ahsoka
things
show. Yeah, she was in the Thing prequel. She is phenomenal. So to have a big name like that, at least starting at that point, it's pretty interesting because look at where she came from. They also had the kid from The Luck of the Irish in the
Oh
Disney
yes,
Channel.
yes. When I saw that, I went like,
Yeah. They're like, that's the Luck of the Irish kid. It's gonna have the little ears and shit. He
I
was
wanna
also
put-
in
I-
The Ring too.
I want to assume that this movie's part of the Luck of the Irish universe. I'm just saying. Continue. Sorry.
It's possible that it could be, but I will say though that roller coaster. Now again, I am afraid of heights. That roller coaster scene didn't affect me because it's so campy. It's
Yes,
so
it is.
duty the way it's done. Like just the filming of it is just so whack, and just the way they fucking get hit with stuff and their body just goes, and you're just like, oh, fuck off. Like you can go kiss my ass. As it goes on, the movie, there's oh my God, the tanning booth fucking shit. Whoever came up with that is genius. That's a genius kill. That is right there. Now I don't do that shit, but if I did and I seen this movie, I'd be like, I am not getting in a fucking tanning booth. Like, kiss my ass. That shit's rough.
I want to know how many plastic chicks and gym rats have avoided going to the tanning booth because of this movie. I've never done a tanning booth ever in
Very
my life.
possible.
Never needed one either. So
Same. It's great that you mentioned that scene in particular because I remember watching this movie when I was probably too young to be watching a bunch of titties.
We got a
But,
lot
you
of
know,
tits in that one. That was good.
Yeah.
that's it.
I was watching this movie specifically with my mother, Mama Ace, and that scene comes up, and you specifically see them like bobbing around, and jiggle physics are
They're
turned up
dancing.
all the way.
They were singing.
And you hear the song Roller Coaster.
Say
And it's like,
what?
It's a groove. It's a groove.
It's a
I can
great
never
song.
hear that
It's a
song the
groove.
same. I can never hear that song the same because now all I think about is that tanning booth scene.
No. I think about
Specifically-
Beavis and Butthead.
But
I used to think Beavis and Butthead, but now I can't.
you know what I love about it though? This is one of the few times that it's not gratuitous nudity.
Yeah.
That nudity actually helps the scene
Yes.
because you're actually seeing the skin deform
Fucking
slowly
insane.
but surely. So that's one of the few times I go like, yes, this is where nudity actually makes sense, and it just like adds to the gore, and it's just like
That's a rough
it-
death.
it's a rough death.
That I would put that.
It's a slow one too. Exactly
yes,
as
another
you mentioned
one.
before. It's a slow,
But
painful,
you know-
disgusting death.
But that's burning. Okay, like we
Yes.
got Todd's death, which was technically suffocation, which is another pretty shitty way to go. Let's be real, shitty way to go. I think I'd rather suffocate because
Yeah.
man, they weren't just burning. Okay, they're fucking the bubbles popped up and it's so nasty. And then like they couldn't touch anything, and then it fucking shatters on them. But they were alive for a very long period of time during that death. I would say that this death, as we are now on Final Destination 3, is the best death in the franchise at this moment. Because, geez, that's, to me, the best death. That's oh my God, fuck off. That's a rough death. But I love it. And we got some boobies while I did it. It doesn't make sense. Again, Death fucked around again. Death fucked around and found out because he did some more water bullshit. Playing with the damn
dripping water, dripping
the fucking
dripping.
Slurpee, the fucking dripping water again with the Slurpee. Death's like, I'm gonna come and get you, gonna come and get you, and they're gonna as a roller coaster. Yeah, but
So what you mean is
Love it.
death specifically lives in water. So avoid the
Well,
ocean.
that and blowing wind.
Yes.
Death
lives in the
loves the
elements.
water. I'll tell you that.
Earth,
Death
wind,
loves going
fire,
swimming.
water. Death is an element.
Earth, wind, and fire. He says, it's September. Yeah.
He
Do
was
you
born in
remember?
September.
21st night of September. Oh, God.
The time I
damn.
destroyed those things.
I made the water recede.
Killing is my venture.
And then another sequel. Money's come.
For that scene specifically, the tanning bed, that the more we talk about and the more I think about it, the more it just makes my skin crawl. And honestly, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, out of all the deaths so far, not only is that one the most memorable, it's the one that I memorize as the most traumatic.
There is something about this third movie though, that we've had asshole characters before, but this movie introduces the first. Is it this movie? No,
Yes.
it's not this.
Yeah,
yes, it is.
The creeper.
The Creeper.
With the
Yes, it
cameras.
is this movie. And this is a very important thing because it becomes recurring eventually. The idea of I will kill you to take your lives away. And I think that's never been used well so far, except with him. But everybody else, and maybe in 5, but in 5 even it was used too laxly. The idea of you will kill somebody and you will get the remainder of their lives. Now, that if you're setting up a cast of very unlikable characters, and you can do that instead of having a bunch of likable characters, you could have a really interesting Final Destination movie if you decide to do a sequel to 6, because you could just have the fun killer contraptions and things like that, but having somebody who actually is trying to kill them or something like that, that's a little bit more interesting and should be taken advantage of once in a while. And I don't think they have done it as well.
They did it in 5.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
In 5 they do it, but I don't think they do it. But I don't think they do it as well as they could have, because I think they should have built that tension up a little bit more, because it was the end. So
Yeah. So I like that a lot about it because it adds another element of problems. I mean, not only do you have death trying to kill you, you've also got somebody else trying to kill you. So now you've got 2 extremes coming at you, and you never know who it'll be. You never know who decides that they just want to take that action. It's really traumatic. Like,
Death should give everybody their card.
he should.
Like, hey, you just survived one of my crazy contraptions. Here's the rules of the game. Good luck.
Yeah.
See you in a bit.
Should give him a dice. Give him a dice, let him roll it and be like, let's see what happens. Ooh, odd number. Still coming for you, bitch.
You rolled a nat 20 to live. Fuck.
Gotta roll a 20 to live. Come on. 17. Close enough, right? Nope. You're next, bitch. Bang.
It also
hit with a truck.
It's nice with that element too in this movie. It also started playing on the background matters. Like instead of just saying, "Oh, let me see what they have in store," of like the water receding and everything, they also play of you can kind of tell how someone's going to die or what's going to happen based on the background of a scene previously. As like we see one of the girls taking a picture of two friends, and there's a flag in the background that is going diagonal through her friend, and later she's impaled by a flag.
Like a true patriot.
Yes, absolutely, for democracy. But it's exactly of if you pay attention to the background or you pay attention to what song is playing, you can kind of get a little feel of like, oh, are they going to die this way? Are they going to die that way?
Yeah, I
So
hated
it's
that.
playing off on your surroundings and your environment of what can you find and is it the actual way they die? So I
No.
started playing a little game of it of, oh, they're going to die this because I hear this song playing. Like Roller Coaster of Love. Exactly. They were supposed to die on a roller coaster. They didn't. They died in a tanning bed. It's all supposed to come together.
I didn't like that though. I didn't like that because because I hate the fact like if you watch the first one and the second one, they don't know what's going to happen. Like they just got to pay attention. Like and even it doesn't matter. It's the same thing like with back to the whole Claire thing. Like she just let her guard down and boom, and she's fucking dead. So the fact that you have Mary Elizabeth Winstead that can sit there and look at these photos because she took the photos for the yearbook, and she's just like, all right, for example, the tanning booth. Okay, they're holding this fucking big ass blown up fucking palm tree that she won in the shooting game. And then when she took the picture, the lighting made it look like there was fire. So she's like looking at this fucking thing, and that's how she put two and two. She tries to make the phone call to her to stay away from fire. Like they actually continue this too into the next two where they do that. And they were smart in 6 and realized we don't have to do that. Because it makes the audience sit there and it's not a mystery. Like I shouldn't be trying to figure out, I'm not playing Clue right now where I'm like, well, okay, McKinley's holding the gun. She's wearing a McKinley shirt. He's going to shoot her. No, what? No, like this is just too much. It should not be a mystery solving movie. It is a movie about people that are going to experience horrible ways to die, dumb ways to die. So that's what we need to see. And I just didn't like that they added that in there where like you should be able to the whole point is to figure out the order, not how you're going to die. You don't know how you're going to die. It can happen at any time. So I did not like that.
I can appreciate that opinion. I like it for the viewer. I don't like it for the characters. As the viewer, that's just what I do. It's what I'm going to do anyway. Try to figure it out before it happens. Because I like to. It's a little game. And the dumber the death, the more I can't predict it.
But don't you think I don't mean to cut you off, Big Money. I'll say this really fast. But don't you think that if you can predict the death, it takes away the shock factor that you're supposed to receive while watching quick deaths? To me, that would bother me. I'd be like, oh, I figured it out. I don't want to figure out the mystery. I do. I do like, so it actually ties into what you're saying, funny enough. I don't like that the pictures reveal exactly how they died. I do like you being able to try, because you know your films, just everybody here. And there are some moments that catch you off guard, but there are some moments you go like, yeah, somebody's going to die here. Yeah. Like you feel it because you see how the scene is constructing. And what I do like is if you catch on to how they're going to die. And I love that in some movies, as that happens, they throw you off. Mm-hmm. They throw you off and go like, oh, so you're seeing all these elements, and then on purpose, they're just throwing everything out of the loop, and they're making you focus on something completely different. 5 did this really well, I think. They try to make you focus on something completely different
of how they're gonna die, and then they die a different way.
Two
But
did that really well.
Exactly.
2 did that the best.
2 did that the best, and we didn't even mention that one death when she's in the car and she gets the log comes through, which is great.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The log comes through, it's stuck, she's stuck there, and they're trying to get her out, and the pole thing went through it, but it
Yeah,
didn't
the
hit her.
rebar.
It didn't hit her though. It was like right over here, and she's just smoking the cigarette, and the guy's like, "All right, man, we're gonna get you out of here." She's like, "Well, hurry up already." And he hits something which makes the fucking airbag fucking hit her in the face to put it through her head. That's what I'm talking about. Like if they were setting that up, I would have been disappointed because it's the fact of being like Big Money, like you said, something's gonna happen. It's like something's going to happen. I didn't think that was gonna happen. And then the other guy gets hit, like immediately gets hit. And you're like, oh shit, fucking 2 of them are gone. Like that's what I'm talking about.
That's what I like. I like when it's starting to set you up because you're smart. Like they acknowledge that you're smart, and you go like, look, we know we can't surprise you constantly with a death because so we're going to fake you out and thinking you're going to guess the death, and then we're going to surprise you with a different death. I like that one. I don't like us trying to piece together, like especially in 3 and 4, more than in 5. 3 and 4 do this way too much. 5 does it. 4 does it absurdly. If we want to,
4 does it bad.
Absurdly, especially with those 3D effects.
Yeah, no.
I didn't want to cut you off. The main part why I like trying to guess it is because a lot of the times I am wrong because of the movie. But when I'm right, I'm pleasantly surprised, and then I watch it happen, which I couldn't imagine it happening to begin with. So it's like, even if I imagine how they're going to die and I call it and I go, oh, they're going to die this way, seeing it is still the shock factor because it's not something I'm picturing happening. I'm still watching the movie. So when it happens, I'm still pleasantly surprised. But when I'm wrong, it's even better. So even though I'm still trying to piece the picture, like I'm trying to put the pieces together and like see the big puzzle, and I'm like, oh, I was fucking way wrong. That's awesome. So
That's
it's like
so much
it's like
better.
I'm happy to be wrong, but it's so funny when I'm right because I'm like, that was the most bizarre fucking shit I could have thought of, and it happened. What the hell? So we're gonna go to 4, which has one of the most terrifying. Bringing it back. Number 4, the tragedy was the racetrack.
NASCAR,
yeah. I mean,
Whack.
praise Dale, but I'm
whack.
I really don't care about this premonition.
I think it's. Has anybody
this
here
movie
been
was
to
like-
a NASCAR race
Not a NASCAR race, but a race. Yes, it wasn't NASCAR.
like that?
Was it a mouse race? A mouse race?
No, it was like
Was it a mouse race? Was it a foot race?
no.
I've been to a track.
It was a bunch of race cars, but they weren't like NASCAR official. They were, like it was just an offbeat.
Formula
Hey,
1?
here's
So
our
street
local
racing?
fucking shit. I mean, they were on a track, so but it was like our local community's little.
Oh,
racetrack.
okay.
It wasn't-
Because I
it
was
very
wasn't like
far away.
NASCAR. It wasn't Formula One. It was
Okay.
like, oh yeah, go to the local racetrack, bring your cars, and we race them and see who wins.
Like
'cause
Formula 99.
I
sort
would
of scenario.
Formula 99.
Like
I would have
Formula
said.
Monster.
I
Some people slap logos on their car when they weren't even.
I would have said the
Sponsored.
reason this one doesn't affect us as much is because we've never been to a NASCAR race or something to where this can happen. All the other ones we've experienced in our lives, we've done that before. So NASCAR
Seen
to
some
me
shit
just
at
wouldn't
Monster
get
Jam,
me.
okay.
Oh, see, that's what they should have
I've
did.
seen some shit at
They
Monster
should have went
Jam.
to Monster Jam to do some shit because those motherfucking cars are
Oh yeah.
Scary.
Yeah, they look like monsters. So they eat you. Like it would be.
You hit on something really smart here, Tommy. Like it's not relatable, and it's not related to the original story. So in no way, shape, or fashion am I already invested in anybody. Because while I'm trying to figure out who the fuck is everybody here, like I don't care about NASCAR, so I'm distracted with trying to figure out who everybody is. Compared to the third one, which I flag it for not being connected to the other ones, story wise. But at least I'm going like, oh, I know the fair. Like the situation is so familiar. I'm already invested in it. That's a really smart, like you lodged into something there for real.
But somebody's invested in that because they do relate to it. I feel like this was the one movie where it's a little niche. That tragedy was so niche that it's only catering to a certain crowd. And that crowd probably isn't going to be the ones going to see the movie to begin with, honestly. I mean, I don't know if you guys have hung around people that like drag racing or, NASCAR or anything, but they really don't care about horror films. And it's more like an honor or a tragedy where someone dies that way, where we're looking at a Final Destination movie going, how are these fuckers going to die?
Mm-hmm.
We're not rooting for anyone to live. And if we are, it's like one character. It's not so much a relatable feeling on this one. I totally agree with you guys on that, where I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of not invested in this at all, but I want to see some motherfuckers die. So I'm watching it mostly for that. And I feel like this was the first Final Destination movie where I was just like, nope, just here to see everybody die. Let's go. It wasn't so much
just
about
read
the plot at
that the director is actually the same director from Final Destination 2.
Yep.
David Ellis.
They kind of flip flop.
So that's 2 then.
It flip flops between.
So he did the best and the worst.
He died in
Yes.
2013.
Yes.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, he did the best. He did the best and the worst.
Did he die in a NASCAR accident?
He also directed Snakes on a Plane.
He did. Yeah.
Oh.
He also
So
directed.
that shows you why
Check
he
this
directed
shit out.
first.
He directed Homeward Bound 2, Lost in San Francisco.
Which is his
My
masterpiece.
That's
Favorite
his-
Homeward Bound movie? Are you
That's
kidding
his
me?
masterpiece. Fantastic.
His magnum opus.
That's pretty crazy. Snakes on a Plane, Shark Night. Ooh.
How the fuck did this guy get away with it? What? Okay, so he made 2 and then just gave up, is what you're telling me.
Well, he was like, well, I did the best. Now I'm supposed to do the worst.
Oh,
because
this one's rough, man. That 3D shit. I remember seeing this in theaters. This movie sucks. Oh, the deaths are shit. They're all because they're made for the 3D effect. It's just absolute. The best death in this movie is the golf ball through the eye.
Yes.
Because it's just bang. I got my eye on you. Bang. And then you're just like, sweet. Like, because then those kids are completely traumatized. And you're like, damn.
But again, it does what I talked about, which is the best thing, is it's setting you up for something that doesn't happen. You go like, what the hell? And you go like, oh, forgot about this little element that you forgot. Ha ha! Remember, fucker! Bow! And MILF died.
You know what the fucked up part though in this is that the second premonition had good deaths. But it wasn't real. So you were like,
This
Those
one
were
really
good deaths.
disappointed me.
That's bad.
I think the only one that kind of had me thinking was the pool drain.
I hate that scene.
I hate
the
it.
scene. I hate the scene and everything about it. But the only thing that had me thinking was like, yeah, I guess that could fucking happen.
No, so
if
here's
somebody fucks up.
I don't think that can happen.
I saw this in theaters.
This was an urban.
And I died laughing, and everybody around me was dying laughing watching this.
I remember laughing watching
it's
it too
funny.
in theaters. Yeah,
So
That
He's
is
like,
why I love this, because the reason I love this death is because this is exactly how not to do a horror movie. Because if your audience is laughing,
pretty cool to night swim.
You're not supposed to make people laugh. Like, maybe once in a while, because like Stifler's death is funny in the first one. It's supposed to be funny, but this one, I don't think it was supposed to be funny. I think it was supposed to be somewhat traumatizing, and I didn't see any trauma in it. I saw only laughter.
I went into the pool afterwards. I was like, fuck that. Not scared about pools. What's going to happen? I'm going to get stuck there. It's going to come through my ass like fucking.
I legit remember this urban myth from when I was like so little, jumping into a pool and like my friend's mom saying, don't get too close to the filter. You'll get sucked in.
I have heard that. Yeah.
And it's mostly to just like scare kids. And I'm over there going like, we really had to pull that one. Like I'm looking at this pool death going like, yeah, it's
I used to put my
memorable.
foot there.
But, like, what the fuck?
I can feel it.
All the time.
Oh, yeah.
I can
All
feel
the time.
it. Yay.
I was just like, oh no, I'm gonna get sucked in. Ah.
Like,
Thinking of
no.
that from when I was a kid and then seeing that scene on screen, I'm going like, oh no.
See, that
You
that
guys pulled
scene
from the bottom of the fucking barrel.
that scene would have worked if the water would have fucking went down too. Like, he's not blocking the whole thing.
He just got
Like,
flushed down.
that's not
with the water.
happening. There's still, again, we're back to death in his water. He
Yeah.
loves his water, right? The water will resend. It's gonna go in the it's gonna go in the fucking pipe. Like, there's no fucking way he's blocking that. You know, I mean, I like the concept of like it's sucking his organs out, but it's not that powerful. Like, that is not that powerful. If they turned it and cranked it up look at it this way. If they cranked it up as high as they're claiming that it went, then the pool would be sucked in a second. It would just go, and that's it. No more water in the pool.
It would
Unfortunately,
recede so fast.
yes, but that's not how it works. So when he's getting, and it's mad funny because he's sitting there, I would have figured he would have
died before
drowned. Right, he should have been drowned. His mouth was open. All this water's going into his mouth. He would have drowned by then. But my whole thing is watching this going, couple things. Number one, how does nobody see that? He's in the middle of the pool and it's crystal fucking clear. That's number one. And number two, why is the water not going down?
Simple.
Fuck
We found
this
out that
movie.
when you're in a pool, nobody notices you.
Well, we've
We
seen
saw
that
that
also
here.
in Night
we
Swim.
saw that in Night Swim.
That's
Like,
true.
it
If
just,
you're,
you don't. A pool makes you invisible.
if you're underneath the water, no one can
You
see
go
you.
underwater, you're invisible.
The fucking guy shows up and he's like, I wonder where Hunter is. He's in the fucking pool, idiot.
And
You didn't
this
think to
is-
look in the pool?
And
Invisible.
this is after one of the most gratuitous sex scenes in movie history. It is one of the most unnecessary. It is totally unnecessary beyond the point of, like, there was no need for him to be humping that lady and then go like, oh yeah, like, oh no, don't, I'm done already.
Yeah, to make it rated R. And
Yeah,
we had
it's
to make
just
it
to
right.
make it rated R. That's it.
Give me a fuck scene and we'll make it rated R. No, that
Yeah, but
fucking
why do you
shit's
have to
stupid.
make it that? It was ooh.
Because he was in the
When something
Amanda
goes on
Bynes
way
show.
longer than it needs to.
Yeah,
like-
no, that scene goes long.
When it goes way longer than it needs to, and we're just kind of sitting there like, man,
I
I'm
hate
watching this
this
with
one.
my parents.
I hate this one. This one is so shit. I spent money to go see this fucking shit. It was so garbage. It was just meant for 3D. The fact they called it the Final Destination and it wasn't was
It
extremely
was
disappointing.
supposed to be the last.
It made money though. It did make
And that's-
money.
Yeah, it was
And
supposed to be the very last movie.
What's his
so they
face is in
killed it.
this? Bubba Gump is in this movie.
Yeah.
He's in the fucking. You wasted a good actor. How does he die? He gets hit by an ambulance truck, the paramedic truck.
Hell yeah.
And then he looks, and I fucking hate it because they show the stupid fucking vision and it's the snake wrapping around a nail.
Oh my god,
and
I
then
hate
it's
that
on
so
the side.
much.
And that's what I mean. Like when you see that, like, okay, Final Destination 3 at least tried to make it creative. This fucking thing shows it to you. It's like, here's a snake and a nail. And then he looks and he goes, oh my God, it's on the fucking side of the truck. How about this? You go fuck yourself. I thought George was a great character. You're a piece of shit. The only good thing about Final Destination, this is what? It's 4, is the fact that they thought they won. You know, like that I liked because I like the fact, because you as the audience forgot too. You as the audience is like, oh shit, is it possible that they actually beat to death? And then it's like, no, because you forgot about the cowboy dude that you never got his name. And that's why they call him the John Doe guy. So you're like, oh shit, he was there. He moved seats. So he would have died too. Like, I liked that. I was like, oh shit, I forgot. I actually was also pissed because I was like, oh, I thought the movie was going to end and it didn't. We had to go another fucking premonition. Which that would have been badass. The fucking bomb going off and all the fucking shit hitting people. But it was a premonition. Fuck this movie.
It took the best part and left it at the end where it was just every bit that could have been the actual movie itself was not.
Yes. That would have been a perfect. That would have been a perfect ending. The ending was shit with the truck, and they're just at the coffee shop, and he's like,
and then it just goes into X-ray.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so bad.
Fuck
That's so
off.
bad.
Fuck off. Because that was such a crappy fucking way to end a movie. Like, that was terrible. Because it was just fuck David Ellis. I know he passed away, so I don't want to hate on the guy too much. Plus, he made number 2, which was fantastic. But the fact is, this movie sucks. It was meant for the 3D effect. It sucked with the 3D effect. The movie's garbage. It's trash.
Luckily, I didn't spend money on it. But it's exactly what you said. This is the wrong way to give me that sense of let me solve the puzzle, because it takes out the element of let me solve the puzzle and look, and when somebody finds out and they're piecing together what's going to happen, this literally just slaps you in the face with it. It literally says, oh, you don't have to guess. This is how it's going to happen. And I'm over there going, you're literally ruining the point of the fucking movies for me, where I don't get to enjoy anything. I'm just watching shit happen. And if I just wanted that, I could go and look up freak accidents on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, that's not the point of the movie.
The fact that when he figures out it's water is so gay. Like,
Yes.
you know, all these other things are like premonitions and like weird little things that's happening. The motherfucker is sitting in his car, looks over to the right, which says like the whatever the place is called, water or whatever, and it just goes ding, ding, like little fucking light hits it. And how did that give you the hint? How did the fact that the light twinkles a little bit and he goes, just gotta stay away from water. You guys stay away. They should have killed the chick at the fucking car wash. That was a badass scene.
Yes.
That would have been fucking amazing. But nope, they fucking saved her. Fuck you. We see the other stupid asshole get fucked with his coin. His little fucking, thought he was Two-Face for a second. Like, kiss my ass. This movie sucks. This movie's trash. Yeah. They had opportunities and they dropped the ball.
Specifically that scene, you could just put a little cartoon light bulb above his head.
Bing.
You basically would have just done
the water.
You pretty much did like,
The water receded.
The water receded, but when the fucking pipe pulled it down, the water did not recede. Fuck
The
you,
water-
movie.
The water did not recede, and his asshole was sucked to
This
death.
asshole was
Just like
all the blood came out. Where was the shit? I didn't see no shit come out.
there were no turds out of his butt.
No dookies came out of his asshole when it got sucked into the pipe. That, by the way, no water. No. Keep in mind, after he fucking gets shot out, no water. Still water in the pool, though. Still water in the pool.
no red water though.
No red
Just
water.
like Night Swim. Just like Night Swim.
Yes. Night Swim got its
I
idea
told
from
you it's
this
a
movie.
prequel. It's a prequel.
Fuck this movie.
Well, it's not a prequel. We're gonna move on to Final Destination 5 because
Which is a prequel.
I can't stand to fucking talk about 4 anymore. Moving to the actual prequel, Final Destination 5. The tragedy is the bridge collapsing.
Yes, the bridge.
I think this is a very real thing that can happen with the bridge collapsing. We have so many bridges. Every time I go to the Skyway and it's a little too windy, I think some shit's gonna happen.
And there's always
Front
construction.
shit.
Always construction on the bridge.
Always. And you know, if it gets too windy, they have to shut it down.
That's right.
They like conditions are you literally cannot cross that bridge.
Like, sorry,
It
can't go
freaks
this
me
way.
out. So this tragedy like truly scared the shit out of me. Where I'm like, okay, you know, this is just real. This is just a real thing that's going to happen. And then we proceed to watch this movie. How did you guys feel about the premonition?
I'll say that the premonition it's done really well. This is the first time that we are in the like we get the premonition, it happens, but then when he's telling everybody we need to go, it's happening now. Like the bridge is collapsing as they're running away. So you're there, you know, with the plane's far away. The car, the highway, they stopped. So it happens all further away until her friends get hit. The roller coaster, they're waiting on the ground. They see the fucking roller coaster hit. And the NASCAR, they left. They left the fucking stadium, so they didn't get a chance to see it. No. You still see this shit because it's happening as they get out of the bus. Like it just all starts to crumble, and it's again at that point they're still running for their lives. So I do like that. They did a very good job with this movie, and this is a movie.
Yes,
this isn't just Final Destination. This is a
God.
movie.
Honest to God movie.
Yes,
this is a good movie.
the ending is fucking awesome.
Well, we'll get to the ending, but I specifically like that this premonition happens instantly. So not only does he see it, he knows it's going to happen instantly.
Mhm.
So it kind of builds up the momentum of the movie of like you need to go now from the very beginning. It's like premonition, it's happening. Get the fuck out of there.
Yep.
It's little to no time to think, hey, is this guy crazy? It's this guy said it. Oh shit. Almost as if like he knew 30 seconds beforehand and just told everybody to run. So I really like that, the pacing of it, just with the premonition alone.
I really enjoy that. I think since the first one, you don't get a cast of likable characters until this one.
Yeah.
Like second one, there's a couple there, but in terms of character, like a bigger ensemble of people that I enjoy, just like I actually was upset that they died. Like in the first one, you're not happy that they're dying. They're
Mhm.
cool deaths, but you're going like, oh man, oh that sucks, poor guy or poor lady or whatever. The second one, it's a little bit more mixed. Third one and fourth one, you go like, yay, die faster, die harder. It's like by this one though, you feel for them. Like there are some deaths there that you go like, oh, I don't want you to die. Oh, that sucks. Except, of course, the sleaziest motherfucker.
Yeah.
I forget the actor's name, but that sleazy motherfucker, like who plays. I've never seen a cross between a dirtbag, an asshole, a pervert, all in one. He's everything. He's a thief. He's a liar. He's a two-timer. He's kind of not kind of. He's a sexual harasser. He's like all these things. He's all his dead work colleagues. He's stealing from them, and he has such a wonderful death. One of my favorite deaths, actually, in all the Final Destination movies, which is in the massage table when he has all the
Needles.
pins on him, and he
The acupuncture needles.
the acupuncture needles, and then he stumbles, and then they fracture him, but he doesn't die. You think that he died, but no, he doesn't.
Mm-mm.
He still has ways to suffer, and he suffers.
Yes.
He suffers, and you feel every single thing. Every single thing that happens to him, you feel. So, yeah. I just wanted to add that we have likable characters in this movie.
Yes.
Yeah, no,
I
absolutely.
Gosh, there.
It's the first time we have likable characters from the first movie, and it's the first time I've seen likable characters where I'm rooting for them to live, despite knowing that they're going to die. It's the first time where I've invested in those characters of like how they're going to die, and I like you really truly don't want them to. And of course, you mentioned one of my favorite scenes, which was the acupuncture needles, because watching that scene, I'm thinking, how many fucked up things can happen to this guy, and why isn't it more?
Yeah, I want more.
Yeah.
Well, Buddha
Exactly.
got him, so
And I love that. I love the fact that it's like him getting the acupuncture needles and him falling off the table and them all like impaling him and him like having those moments. And he finally says, like, I got you, you bastard. Like, you're not going to get me. And the Buddha statue,
Mhm.
out of all the things in the room that could have got him, the Buddha statue, heavy as fuck, just falls, crushes his
Right
skull.
on his
That's a
head.
And
heavy
I'm like,
Buddha.
that's fucking
It is a
great.
heavy Buddha.
If that
Wump.
Buddha's that heavy to crush a skull, how the fuck did you get it up on that?
No, it's not
on
safe
that-
to have it
like,
up anywhere.
Yeah.
That's very
How
high.
did you get it up on that ledge, and who lifted it up on that ledge?
Sure.
Probably the old lady who was giving him the massage. She looked tough as fuck.
She was
I
tough.
swear to God, dude.
She was definitely tough as fuck.
It's like 5 just gives us specifically what we wanted from all the other movies.
And the return of
Yeah.
Tony Todd. Tony Todd
Yes.
was absent for 3 and 4, and then he comes back here, and you go like, "Yes, Tony Todd,
Yes.
yes,
Indeed.
yes, thank you, welcome back, thank you."
We get him, and again, it's just that feeling of like, why weren't you here in the previous movies? Why?
Because they were bad.
That's exactly
He was
what I mean.
there. He was in the third
Oh, and
one.
the third one, he was
He was the
the
voice.
Satan of the devil. Yeah.
Mhm.
But it specifically ties into like it's exactly what we were missing from the other movies. They didn't slapstick things into your face. They didn't try to give it to you as like, oh, you got to figure out the mystery, or our characters already know how to defeat it. It was a true honest to God movie. Exactly what you said in the beginning. It's an honest to God movie that we just get to enjoy. And even just since the first one, Final Destination 5 picks up where 3 and 4 were just lacking. Like, I really lost hope after 4. I remember seeing the trailer for 4, saying I'm not going to the theater to see it. And when I saw the trailer for 5, I'm like, yeah, that looks great. I'm not going to the theater to see it. And I waited for so long to see it. Maybe like came out in 2011, maybe 2014. I watched it
Wow.
and I was like, oh shit, I've been missing out.
Mhm.
I've been missing out on 5. I had no clue because of how bad the other ones were. I was
Yeah.
upset.
Yeah, I saw
So-
this in theaters. I had to. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
new Final Destination? I thought the other one was the last one because it said it was the Final Destination.
Yeah.
Oh, there we got another one. Cool, let's go see it. Yeah. No, it was it was cool. I had a really good time with it. Again, the ending of this movie is let me not even say the ending of this movie. The third act in this movie is fantastic. You know, the fact that the girlfriend, well, she wasn't going to be a girlfriend at that point. She was trying to break up with him. But she lives in the premonition. So, but then his mistake was he mentioned that. And then they're all like, what? And then his friend, whose girlfriend dies in a fantastic way, by the way, the fucking gymnast scene.
Yes.
Fucking great death. Love it. But when he mentions that whole concept, Tony Todd actually says it, the whole you can take a life to gain their lives in a sense. And now they all, well, at least his friend, looks over at the girl. Well, she lives, so I know what to fucking do. And I love that scene when he's sitting down in the restaurant talking. And then when he says that, he goes, I've been contemplating it. I've been thinking about it. You know, can I kill a person? You know, that's a very good question. You know, and especially in this situation, can you kill somebody? And then the fact that he just goes, then I really contemplated, blah, 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 blah. And then he just goes, yeah, I could totally do it. And then pulls a gun out. You're like, oh, he's the antagonist now. He's the bad guy. Death doesn't exist at this point. Now it's a new, different movie of, will this guy actually kill one of them? He has to kill her. The whole point is that killing him is not going to do anything. He has to kill her. So I love that third act. Like
I love that it brings out, I
Fucking
love that it
movie.
brings out the element of you are now working in tandem with death, or you are working for death.
You're water at this point.
you are
Yes.
the water.
You are straight up water.
You don't
and
wanna
you're
And
be
you are
receding
not,
on this.
and you should not be receding.
You're not
Exactly.
receding.
Do not
on
recede
this.
though.
It's straight up like where death didn't exist for a person before, it sure as fuck does now. In whatever
Yes.
fashion they feel. So
Yeah, I
gun,
agree.
knife, strangulation, their death is undetermined. Except by that one person. And that's some scary shit. Where like if somebody told me a premonition of, hey, you know, all these people die and you don't, and I'm thinking, oh, well, then I'm safe, like I'm not part of this line. But then it's presented of, well, somebody could just kill you. It's like, what do you mean? What do you mean someone could just kill me? And it's true, because even in real life, we have murders, we have, you know, serial killers, we have all that stuff. I was about to say fun stuff. It's not fun. We have all of this, and
Depending on your point of view on that, you know.
yeah,
Some people eat people and they find it normal.
yeah.
You know, it's not.
It's the fact of death comes for us all in many fashions, and whether it be from somebody else's hand or, you know, natural laws of whatever is out there, whatever supernatural thing we want to categorize death as. But it's just terrifying. It brought back real life terror. Even just from the premonition, like terror that a bridge is going to collapse and you're on it. Like that's happened before. Terror that somebody's going to just like take out a gun and shoot you. I mean, that's happened more
Yeah.
often than we'd ever like. It's just the real life terror that brings it back, and it hit me greater than the first one. But the first one did it in such a way that I'm like, yeah, no, that I have more of a chance of dying on an airplane than I would a bridge collapsing these days.
And you know, honestly, something about this ending, which this ending works on so many levels in this movie. It has a more personal stakes to it. And then when you jump into the actual prequel portion of it, if that first movie didn't work as well, you wouldn't get hit as hard because you know what's happening.
Yeah, I
Right.
agree.
It hits all the right notes of nostalgia
damn.
and doom and doom.
Doom.
It is
Emphasis on
doom.
doom.
Dude, I remember in the theater when that part happens, like when they're on the plane putting the bags away, and then it does the, like, he turns and you see the clip of Alex getting pulled off the plane with Carter and whatnot. I remember the theater going, oh, because it was that moment you're like, this is a fucking prequel. Like, this is a prequel to the first one. And he doesn't realize it until the plane takes off, is when the kid realizes, oh, fuck.
When he hears they had a premonition.
They had and the song starts playing. Dust in the wind. It plays on the fucking on his headphones, and it's that moment that him and you as the audience goes, oh shit, he's fucked. And that's the first true time you saw it happen. You saw everything. You saw him burn. You saw the girl get fucking tossed out and fucking shattered, which is crazy because she wasn't supposed to die. But he invited her to go to Paris. Whoops, you killed her.
Because because he lived, things changed.
Yes.
Correct.
And now everybody's fate changed. That plane, now Death is trying to get him, and so now everybody in that plane is tied to him. And then eventually, everybody from that plane that survives, that saves the other people, causes two. That is the part of Final Destination that makes me enjoy it the most. When it does deaths well, and it's connected through story. That's why I don't enjoy 3, even though it has some nice deaths. Most definitely, I don't enjoy 4 because it doesn't have good deaths overall, and it doesn't have a good story. Period. So yeah. So in my canon so far, 1, 2, and 5. We'll talk about if 6 makes it later on when we do the next episode on this. But because that's my canon for Final Destination, I skip 3 and 4 all the time.
No, that's solid. That is 100% solid because I do the exact same. Anytime somebody says, "Oh, Final Destination movies," I go, "Watch 1 and 2, skip 3 and 4." You can read cliff notes. You can look at the clips of the deaths if that's what you want, but just skip it. You don't need it. Go to 5. Enjoy. It's just tying it all together like that makes it feel complete. Like Death's plan was for everyone all along, and it also plays off of a trope we didn't talk about in the movies of if it skips you because you beat it one time and it goes to the next person, it still comes back around. It's still going to come back around for you. It doesn't just skip you and be like, "Oh, you lived."
Haha, you
It
win.
skips you to come back around, and they're like, "All right, I'll get to you in a minute." Anyway, now that we're back, it's still your time.
Yeah, Death plays fair. Death says like,
Yeah, that's
"Okay,
fair.
fine,
Good job.
you got it.
Yes.
For now."
Yeah. It's like, you did good. You did very good. I tried to go left. I tried. You got me. And then it's like, I'll see you in 2 weeks, bitch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Don't
'Cause
worry,
I'm
we
going
have an
wrong.
appointment.
Because guess what? I'm going to go left again because you think I'm going to go right.
You think
And
you
that-
figured me out?
We have an
And then-
appointment. See you at 9.
I want Death to talk exactly like that.
I want Death to talk like Dick Dastardly.
Yes.
Oh my God, please.
Just that like that's what I want to hear. Death. I want to hear Death talk, or like do the man, Death, man.
Well,
Like,
I want him to
that's
talk
what I
like Skeletor specifically from
want. Oh
Robot.
God.
I am constructing all these contraptions so I can get all these boobs and kill them all. For I am Death, and I shall be feared by everybody here.
Oh, please, more of that.
But could it also be William Sadler?
Yes,
Oh, yes.
it could.
It should be.
Or
William
could it be
Sadler.
Billy Zane?
It would be better
Oh,
if it was
oh.
Billy Zane. Just
Listen.
walking around. Just he doesn't got to put a coat on or anything. You just be Billy Zane. It's just that's death. And
you see him
and then
like
he talks
ride
like
by on a
Skeletor.
bicycle and just like stares over and he's like, oh yeah, they're next.
They're totally gonna die. I already spilled a drink. The water's receding.
You see him like run into a room where he knows they're going to be and just like drops a little on the floor like and then runs out.
He has a cup and he just spills a little bit. And then he
a
leaves.
solo cup of water.
He drops the cup and he leaves. Like that evil, like, I'm gonna get these motherfuckers.
Hello,
Somehow-
everybody.
I would love
Oh.
that movie. Show me that
Now I
movie.
know how the water recedes, you guys. He does the sponge trick.
Yes.
And cleans it up.
Yes,
Here you go.
Yes. He does the sponge and just wipes the shit out.
Everything comes back to Billy Zane.
And water.
And water.
So, as far as the movies go, I know we talked about characters, we talked about the deaths, we talked about the tragedies, we talked about what the movies did for us personally. I mean, we got into the franchise, and I know Bloodlines is next, and I'm excited to talk about Bloodlines in our discussion. For now, I think it's time to invite everyone to my creep corner because I have something specific to talk about.
You never leave, you never see me. Creep corner, you creep, I become your lord.
So we're sitting here in a movie theater. It's really dark. We're enjoying our snacks. We're enjoying our cold drinks. We're expecting good movies. Maybe some terrible, but we don't know until the end. And as we're watching the screen with our loved ones and our friends around us, seemingly having a good time, we're secretly waiting in the pit of our stomachs to see a bunch of fucking people die. We're waiting for those people on screen to experience the most gruesome, horrible deaths that we've ever seen, especially because we haven't seen them in real life. And we're actively counting on those deaths to entertain us. And that's why all of our viewers and listeners and us personally are the fucking creeps for these movies. These movies don't offer any sort of creep factors. It's death, it's tragedy. There's nothing really creepy about it. There's creepy characters that give you the ick, but they're not so much creeps in the way of giving you that shiver up your spine. They just kind of make you go, ew, I want to see him die. But actively seeing people die and expecting it and finding enjoyment in it makes us all kind of fucking creeps. But you know, I'm okay with that. And I'm going to keep being fucking creepy. So welcome all to my creep corner.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That makes sense. That's actually a really well thought out.
Perfect sense.
It's just absolutely ludicrous that I'm like, oh yeah, when I think about it in the sense of like normalcy, watching people die shouldn't be entertaining. But these
like
movies
what-
make them very entertaining.
It's like when you go to the butcher shop. You get excited for seeing like carcasses being ripped to shreds, and you go like, "Yeah, look at that
Yeah.
cut."
Yeah, and you're like, ooh, that's gonna be so good to take home. But if you said that to a person, that's gonna be really fucking creepy, man. So I feel like after we've experienced these movies and we feel a little creeped out by ourselves on it, we might need our residential movie therapist to give us some guidance on that.
Therapy, therapy, we need some therapy. Therapy, therapy, we need some therapy. Call Tommy James 877 Move It now with the prescription pad in hand. He's gonna fix your horror plan. Oh yeah. Are you lost in the woods?
Okay, everyone, I hope you're all ready and excited because it's time for a therapy session. Oh, excitement runs wild as we talk about Final Destination, the whole entire franchise. So, okay, as you know, when I do my therapy sessions, I have to go ahead and pick somebody from the movie and give them a therapy session. Well, unfortunately, we're doing things a little bit different today because we talked about multiple movies. I have to pick someone. Something. No, fuck it. I'm picking you, the viewers out there. All the viewers that have watched this movie, and including the listeners right now. Because, listeners, you are all fucked up due to these movies. And I'm here to help you. So, let's begin. I'm diagnosing all of us with chronically pre-doomed disorder, as I like to call it, CPDD. Symptoms include airport anxiety disorder, timber trauma, loop-de-loom-and-doom. We've all felt that before, I'm pretty sure. Prescription 1. I call it grounded for life. If that Final Destination plane scene turned you into a nervous sweater every time you hear a jet engine, congrats, you're soft. Real soft. The cure? Simple. Never go to Paris. The food's overrated, the people are rude, and let's face it, you wouldn't survive customs, let alone a flaming mid-air explosion. Stay on the ground where you belong, champ. Let the sky be someone else's Final Destination. And prescription 2, I call it the Tony Todd clause. If Final Destination 3 rattled you, good, it should. The roller coaster scene is a full-blown anxiety attack with seatbelts. But here's your prescription. Never get on a ride where you hear Tony Todd's voice. That's not ambiance. That's a death omen with bass. And if you're still hoping, I'm sorry, I can't get the words out of all this damn soda. And if you're still hopping on roller coasters after that movie, you're not a thrill seeker. You're a future chalk outline with a fast pass. Sit your emotionally damaged ass on a bench, clench your funnel cake like a life preserver, and enjoy the show from a safe distance. Because trust me, if death wants you, even the teacups will kill you. And prescription 3, I call it highway robbery. If you've seen Final Destination 2 and now have a legally blinding fear of logging trucks, it's science. You see one on the highway, and your soul does a somersault while your brain screams, get in the other lane or die. And honestly, fair. Totally fair. Those logs are death noodles stacked by meth-fueled beavers with a vendetta. So here's your prescription. Don't drive. Ever. Walk. Teleport. Rollerblade. Hell, get in a barrel and roll to your destination like a Looney Tune. Better yet, stay your anxious ass home. Order DoorDash, FaceTime your friends, pretend a VR headset is real life. You're not emotionally stable enough for the open road. You flinch at toothpicks now. Take a deep breath and repeat after me. It's just a movie. But also, I will never trust wood again. And for my conclusion, let's be honest. Final Destination didn't just entertain you. It ruined you. Planes, terrifying. Logging trucks, weapons of mass destruction. Roller coasters, nope, not anymore. You didn't walk away stronger. You walked away checking your surroundings like a squirrel on meth. You're not brave. You're traumatized. And yeah, same. I won't fly. I won't drive behind log trucks. And I treat theme park rides like a loaded gun. So congratulations. You let a fucking movie franchise bully you into lifelong anxiety. Damn you. Damn you all to hell. Thank you.
That was beautiful.
Wow. Charlton Heston there at the end. Wow.
Technically.
I'm never going to
Damn.
forget. I'm
Damn
not a thrill
you.
seeker. I'm just a future chalk outline.
With a fast pass.
pass.
Don't forget, you do indeed have a fast pass.
That's going to stick with me
That's
for life.
really good.
Well, students, we've come to the end. And as we like to do things around here, we like to take lessons from everything that we see, that we learn. Everything we take in can definitely be a lesson. We're about to learn a lesson from the cigarette smoking man.
Mijo, listen close, aquí está la verdad. If your house says get out, don't be living with that. Dancing with demons, pedal con ritmo. Eddie drops wisdom with every humo. Lessons from a cigarette smoking man.
Hey, kid, let's light up. Water's a bitch. This evil element of nature is hell-bent on killing every single one of us. Just beware of its sinister dripping. In that same vein, fuck the wind. It's also a psychopath. Beware of its gentle blowing of things. These two elements apparently are death's best buddies. They will mess you up. Vague threats usually sound sexual. I'm going to get you. Your ass is mine. I'm going to pound you. When you're trying to intimidate someone like the racist redneck from Final Destination 4, make sure you don't use some cutesy nickname like chocolate at the end of your vague threats. I'm going to get you, chocolate sounds less like a racist slur and more like the beginning of a bad gay porno. Tampons are the perfect earmuffs. A fun little fact, Krista Allen, who plays the MILF in Final Destination 4, originally became famous for a softcore adaptation of Emmanuel. I mean, what adaptation of Emmanuel is not a softcore bonanza? But I digress. Right now, she's a soap opera darling with a couple of Emmy nominations. Good for her. From softcore to daycore. Speaking of which, let's talk about tits. Back in the day, circa 1950s, all the way to the early 2000s, cinema had an explosion of sexploitation. These were, to quote Doug Walker, the non-pussy years, which ironically had more pussy. Gratuitous nudity that drove the plot absolutely nowhere except depravity. And it was obscene, and it was outrageous, and it was glorious. We know these producers lied to these women about fame. After showing their glorious memories on screen, they faded into obscurity. But their daring expose needs to be recognized as, well, legendary. Let's take Odessa Monroe as an example. What? You don't recognize her name? What about the biker chick in Final Destination 2? Or Girl at the Lake in Freddy vs. Jason? You see, she is a nameless character in each, and yet she is instantly recognizable due to her enormous bazoombas. And don't try to argue that they are real. They look like perky cantaloupes. Never in the history of human biology or gravity has such a feat been achieved. Point is, she is memorable. So are many of the nameless bazongas that flash through these Final Destination movies and other of the sexploitation generation. Those ladies deserve a special Hall of Fame because Lord knows they're not getting into any Hall of Fame for acting. Again, I digress. Finally, what is a deep dive into Final Destination without talking about death? Yes, death is coming for you. Death is going to get you. Is it a sure thing that you will die? But the problem many people have is that they try to fight the relentless onslaught of life, the ravages of time, and the unpredictability of death. You see them: Botox, diet fads, destroying yourself in the gym, depriving yourself of the little joys of life so you can extend your life by 10 years at the most. The misery of life still gets you, and death still finds you. No, my confused wanderer, you must enjoy life to the fullest. But here's the weird thing: you must also enjoy it responsibly, because if you don't, then death will come for you faster. You must embrace a balanced life full of joy and self control, knowing that death is but an old friend who need not be feared. How does that work? Well, you got to figure out that one on your own, bud. I'm just a cigarette smoking man. After all, death is but another path. one that we all must take. The gray rain curtain of this world rolls back, and all turns to silver glass, and then you see it. White shores, and beyond, a far green country under a swift sunrise. Or, if you're an asshole, the flames peel back, and then you see him, Diddy, with his baby oil, in a Power Rangers costume, singing the divinals I Touch Myself, while getting ready to plunge Princess Twilight Sparkle up your urethra. Till next time, here's looking at you, kid.
Dear God.
That took a turn. What?
I sure hope I'm not a fucking asshole.
Diddy. Singing the divinals. I touch myself.
Oh, in a Power Rangers costume, ready to jam Twilight Sparkle up your ass.
Oh, fuck.
I was
That's
holding back the laughs as I
Oh.
was saying it because
God.
I made myself laugh
Oh.
with that one.
That is beautiful.
Ooh,
Oh,
that was rough.
I'm gonna put that on a throw pillow. I swear.
Oh my God.
If you're an asshole, and then just this. On the flip side, it'll be the heaven.
Oh my God.
Oh,
We need to make a give like the cards like they have.
yes.
Like that. And that's what it says. Like the good thing on the front end, it says or.
At the bottom, it'll say "or." You flip it over.
It
and
just
it's
says, but it's in
Diddy.
all caps and bold or, and then you flip it
Oh
over
my
like whoa.
God.
But it's Diddy in a Power Ranger costume.
Holding Twilight Sparkle. It's fucking perfect.
I love myself. I want
Listen.
you to love me. Oh.
Look out for merch, listeners. It's gonna fucking
Oh.
happen.
Hey, I can paint a scene, can I?
Oh my God.
A horrifying one, yes.
By the way, the one from heaven is actually not mine. It's from Tolkien. It's actually how Gandalf describes heaven.
Yeah.
Oh.
Tolkien, Gandalf
Yeah.
knows what's up.
Yeah, he does.
They took a fucking right turn after that. Holy
No, it
shit.
took a left like death.
It did. The water receded. Then showed up with baby oil. Can't stop, won't stop, can't stop, won't stop.
Well, students, the bell is about to ring on that note, but we will say our final thoughts because this is our last episode before summer break.
Woo! Summer,
School is
summer.
out for summer and we're ready for camp. We're ready to rock. So before I see everyone next semester, we're going to enjoy our summer. And let's start with movie guy, baby.
All right. It's always great to talk about Final Destination. After watching Bloodlines, I rewatched all of the movies literally back to back. You can ask Jen. We just boom, 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 kept going through them. I'm very excited for summer camp. I can't wait. I know next week we'll be getting on the bus and heading on over down to summer camp. I don't know which camp we're going to yet, but we know it's not going to be the one that we were at last time with Camp
We?
Inner Spirits. I don't want to go over there. Yeah, we, all of us, we're going to camp.
You went to the wrong thing.
No, Mom made me go to the wrong camp. We failed, if you don't remember. We ended up failing, so my mom was very upset with me and sent me to Camp Inner Spirits. Wasn't a fan of that. So I'm very excited to see. Hopefully Mr. Malave catches the fucking bus this time and actually will join us for summer camp. Again, this was great. That was the way to end it. I am going to have this vision in my head of P. Diddy in a Power Rangers costume. We have not determined which one yet, by the way. Don't spoil it. Leave it to their imagination because there's many to choose from. And he's holding Princess Twilight Sparkle, which, as we all know, at least especially with second rounds, that's my pony. And he's it's like Austin Powers. I love us, and I don't love everybody else. Which My
imagery is
name is
hard.
Tommy James, aka Mr. So Smooth, aka the Smooth Effect himself. I am the movie guy, baby, and I have been broken. See you next week when we get our asses to summer camp. Peace.
And this is Big Money Eddie. I hope you enjoyed the new Night School Horror, which has the same name as the old Night School Horror. Wonderful building was given to me. I don't know by who, but I've just had these keys with me for a long time, so I was glad to invite you guys over. I hope that you have enjoyed it here in this building, because I have enjoyed having you here in my little messed up building. Honestly, it's been a journey, and I'm really excited to go to summer camp with y'all. So, signing off, and hoping that you guys are never assholes, because you know what's happening.
All right. Well, we're happy to be going to summer camp with knowing that we're not assholes. We are good people here at night school. We might have fucked up mentalities, but we're good people. I'm gonna stress that enough. We are good people, not assholes. Super excited for summer camp, and we can't wait to see all of you guys there.
Glorious gore! Glorious, and I won't survive. I won't survive because of glorious gore. And I won't survive. I won't survive. I won't survive. I won't survive. Survive because of glorious